who checked up on me. And the one question I've constantly received over and over is, well, how was your trip? And the honest answer is, unless you want to sit down for an hour, I can't give you the full answer. This is the short version of the answer. The four most important things, the four most meaningful things that have happened in my life are, number one, getting married, and number two and three, having both of my girls, number four, going to Mexico. I count Mexico as more of a blessing than graduating from college. It was more meaningful to me than the day that I graduated from seminary. It was 10 times more meaningful to me than the day that I was ordained. There's nothing that is outside of those three prior events topped it. And so I will tell you, first of all, that my mom, one of the gifts that my mom gave me, she said, don't ever be afraid to show your emotions. She says, I don't care if you're a man or not. You're a human being. And so, you can ask my wife. At times I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and I'm not ashamed of it at all. So, some of these pictures bring back some very, very tough memories for me. Good memories, but very sad. And so there you have it. That's it. There were some parts of the pictures where I wanted to point out one certain part. And we have these nifty little things where you can laser pointer, but they're hard to see. And so I went to the office supply store and I thought I'd get one of those telescoping pointers. Well, apparently I can't even find them. So I've gone very low tech. I went outside and skinned the stick off the maple tree. So forgive me for being, forgive the stick. I'm just going to simply do the best I can with the stick. And so this is it. This is my trip to Mexico. And I want to read a couple scriptures to you. Missions at home and missions far away, where Jesus calls to go. From Matthew 28, now the 11 disciples went to Galilee to the mountain to which Jesus had directed them. When they saw him, they worshipped him, but some doubted. And Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything that I've commanded you. And remember, I am with you always to the end of the age. This is the word of Christ. I put that up there on purpose. Missions at home and missions far away. Because I know every now and then when a minister goes on a mission trip, one of the first things people say is, well, don't they know that we need help here? And I understand what people mean when they say that. But I thought about it. I thought about the math. I'm here 48 out of 52 weeks. 48 out of 52 weeks I'm here serving you folks. And every other minister is. I'm here going to Sontag now, which is a blessing. I'm taking care of Stepping Stone's website. I'm going down to the Herrick House. I'm doing all these things in town and trying to reach out and take care of these people. And we go to the rescue mission with the youth. 48 out of 52 weeks. How much missions am I doing at home? Doing a lot. What do you say? So, as much as I understand people saying, well, why do you got to go away? Plenty of people here need help. I will also tell you this. There are countries like Mexico, Chile, Bolivia, countries who are far poorer than we are. They don't have the government resources that we have. They're simply, I was talking to some people at lunch on Friday and talking about, here in America, if you don't have something, you can get it. If you don't have food, you can get food stamps, you can go down to the food pantry, you can go to Stepping Stone. There are all kinds of resources. In these poor countries, that does not exist. They might tell you in the government that they have such and such program, but in the truth, what I found out is they don't. And so I think it is very important, and maybe more important than ever, that we go away. And the truth of it is, it's all a matter of how you look at it. It's a scale. But there are even countries much worse off than Mexico. That we have it probably the best. Us and places in Europe, we have the highest lifestyles, and we have the nicest things, we have the most beautiful churches. Then you go to some countries like Mexico and Ecuador and El Salvador, they're a little bit further down. Then you go to some countries like Haiti, where literally, I think it's a quarter of all babies do not live past 5. So it kind of is a sliding scale. More important than ever, I think we need to go out and make disciples of all nations. And very similar, from Mark 6, 6 through 13, then he went about among the villages teaching. He called the 12 and began to send them out 2 by 2 and gave them authority over the unclean spirits. He ordered them to take nothing for their journey except a staff and a bread and a bag and a money in their belts, but to wear sandals and not to put on 2 tunics. He said to them, "Wherever you enter a house, stay there until you leave the place. If any place will not welcome you and they refuse to hear you as you leave, shake off the dust that is on your feet as a testimony against them," which is an interesting statement on its own. So they went out and proclaimed that all that should repent. They cast out many demons and anointed with oil many who were sick and cured them. I want to do 2 things. This week I want to just show you pictures. I want to show you what I saw to the best of my ability. And of course, pictures, as it turns out, aren't worth 1,000 words. In fact, at times I find that pictures are almost worth nothing, because a picture cannot begin to describe all that you see. Next week, what I want to do is I want to tell you more about how this impacted me, where I see it leading me in my future, and also how we as a church can play a part in this. And I'm going to try to stay out all your way. When I got to Mexico, the very first thing I saw, and I didn't get a good picture, was lit up Mexico sign. Let you know where you are. Just in case you don't know where Ensenada is, to give you a rough idea, it's a peninsula. It's a huge peninsula, and it starts right here and runs all the way down. And it's called Baja California. I didn't know Mexico is called the United States of Mexico. And there are roughly, I think, 68 states. And Baja California, there's Sur, and I can't remember the other one. But they're divided into 2 states. We were in the north part. To give you some layout of the land, this is the border right here. This is Tijuana, which is right on the border. San Diego is right here. A place called Tecate, Mexicali. Texas is over here. Down the coast, as you come down about an hour and a half, is Ensenada, the municipality. We were actually south a little bit, in a smaller village, but still part of Ensenada, about 15 minutes south of Ensenada. So that gives you a little idea of where we were. When I woke up, I got there late because all my flights, the first flight was late. Once your first flight out of Rome is late, you're doomed. So I got there at midnight, and I woke up. I didn't know what to see. At first, I woke up and I looked out from my dorm. Was the prototypical view of a roof. The soccer balls, the old beat-up soccer balls on a tin roof. And the tin roof was held down by the cinder block. Very, very typical setup in Ensenada. Let you know some of the people I met. These are the interns. These are some of the interns there in Ensenada. They work in different places. This is Will. I don't remember her name because I never got to go meet her. She's over there every day. This is Jace. Back here, way back in the corner, is a guy named Josue, Nathaniel, and literally her name is Princess. In fact, her name is Princess Ocean. I have no idea why, but she loves the name. So they are playing Monopoly one night, having a great time. This is one of the interns called Lizzie. There's a church from Bellingham, Washington called Northside Community Church. And this is the church that I teamed up with. I didn't want to go alone, so I teamed up with them. That's Marcus, Sydney, and Jen. 2 teenagers in the group, and one is Sydney. Andy and Teresa. They're a married couple, and he must have a lot of ego to marry such a tall woman. There's Will again. Another one of the teenagers, Katie. Katie and I became good friends, and amazing teenagers. They just got right in. These are my quarters. Do not be deceived. That bed is a whole lot less comfortable than it looks. And I didn't take a pillow, so life got interesting. You can't see it. This is some kind of mud. back foot right here. He became my friend. It's very strange. Literally, there are dogs everywhere in Ensenada. I guess they're all Mexico. Dogs everywhere. And every time I would leave from the mission center, I could walk about a quarter of a mile down to what's called an Oxbow. It's kind of like a 7-Eleven. And every time I'd leave the mission center, walk down, it didn't matter what time of day it was, he started following me. And I don't know why. I go into the Oxbow, get my drink, I come back outside, and he was standing there on the pavement waiting for me, and he'd follow me back to the mission center until I told him, look, but he became my friend. We did that every day. Sunday morning, first thing was worship. And this is Pastor Halil. This is the village right north, going up a huge mountain. Pretty huge by their standards. This is looking downhill. And the church, Pastor Halil's church, is over here on the left, right off the screen. That's looking downhill again. This is looking uphill. Pastor Halil's church is up here on the right there. So you can see the community that Pastor Halil is working with. This is the church after it's finished. Half of these pews, I don't know where they got. There were some chairs randomly. James, this would be your worst nightmare for maintenance. Literally, the backs of the chairs were falling out, so you had to pick which one you sat in. There were holes in the roof. The ceiling fan is deceptive too. It did not work. It was hot as blue blazes. It redefined what worship was, and an amazing experience. This is after church. These are the book bags we took up during PBS. And the kids, we were trying to be patient, don't get crazy. Just, they were so excited. I mean, if you told me that my gift for the day was a book bag with supplies in it, I'd say, really? You got anything else? But to them, I found out that most of them would not have a book bag. They'd carry their stuff in their pockets. They'd have a grocery bag. If they were lucky, they'd have a hand-me-down bag from a brother or sister. So to get a brand new book bag with brand new things in it, these kids were ecstatic. This is in the end, these are just some of the book bags we handed out. We sent, I think, 40 more. They're going to some different kids in another village to meet them at some other churches. The kids were amazing. They really were. Some new friends I made at church. This is one of the little kids. When he first put his book bag on, the straps hadn't been adjusted, and he was literally so small that the book bag, as he walked, was dragging the ground. So I pulled his straps up and had to teach them. They'd never even seen them. You had to teach them how to use the straps. This is Amaya. As soon as I walked in, he's the unofficial greeter. He's the one who makes you feel like you're the most important person, the greatest visitor in the world. And he was a wonderful guy. Lunch after church, every Sunday. Not just every now and then. And it was homemade tortillas. You can't see all of it. This was my plate, and they gave you as many as you wanted. It's an unlimited buffet. It was fantastic. This is looking up the hill from Pastor Halil's church. There's a great place across the road in case your transmission needs to be transferred and replaced. Very convenient. I thought the thing that Chihuahuas in Mexico was a joke. There were literally Chihuahuas everywhere. Now, Ensenada, as I told you, is a little bit north of where we were. This is downtown ritzy Ensenada. And it's ritzy only for one reason. Because a lot of Americans have moved down there to retire. And anywhere you find a settlement of Americans, and they always stick together, they don't go out to the villages, there you find all the nice places. And everywhere you go, you find McDonald's. Some things just don't change no matter where you are. This is Libby. This is one of the missionaries' daughter. This thought it was a cute picture of her sitting in downtown Ensenada. Downtown Ensenada actually sits on the port of Ensenada. This is the fish market. It is didn't seem to bother them that it was over 100 degrees and fish were setting out. But they were okay with it. This is the lookout at the port of Ensenada. And that is apparently one of the biggest flags in Mexico. You can't tell by the picture, but just to surround the base of the flagpole takes about 7 people stretched out arm to arm. Very neat. This is back at the Mission Center. Just to give you an idea, this is the community room. This is everything. Kitchen, you name it. Some of the friends I made, this is Sammy. He was one of the guys I got closest to. This is Pastor Renario in the blue, Pastor Halil in the red. Pastor Halil is the minister of the church that we went to with the book bags. All wonderful guys. Construction site. We did construction every morning. This is looking up the road, and if you take a left turn down this, it's not a road, it's a walk, you'll see the mission website, their construction site. These are the next door neighbors, and down here you'll see the building. That's the progress they've made so far. We had the job of basically finishing the gable ends, and a lot of this is the painting, such and such. These are the Joneses. If you want to keep up with the Joneses, that's what you keep up with in Mexico. Many people are so poor that they don't put walls on their houses. There's a Teresa from the group. This is also a princess. Princess is not a princess in the truest sense of the word. She is not afraid to get in there and get dirty. Over the years, I've decided the worst job in construction is sheetrock and spackling. It is miserable. And the problem is it never ends. It goes on and on and on. I was going around, my job was to check everybody's work and make sure their spackling was up to snuff and then we could finally paint. And I looked at that and said, my God, who did that? That's awful. And then I remembered I did it. But I didn't tell him. This was our background sound across the road. This dog barked literally all day long, every day we were there. He was happy to see us. This is a guy named Bruce from the church, and he broke the chalk line, which we gave him a hard time for. I tried to fix it, and it ended up even worse. So we just had to get a new chalk line. I tried my best. These are retaining walls going down a huge slope. People literally make a retaining wall out of anything they can. Old tires, they make the garbage, whatever they can make a retaining wall out of, they use that. And I was told, don't go where the green grass grows. There are mainly 2 things that roll down the hill in the village. One is a soccer ball, the other thing is, take a guess. There's no plumbing there. But you learn to get used to it. Don't go where the green grass grows. This is my friend Katie. We decided to take a picture of one another, taking a picture of one another. This is Pastor Renario and Halil at work. You can never say a pastor down there that doesn't get their hands dirty. This is not a special occasion. They do this every week. They work with their hands and feet and their back. These people are incredibly poor, but you look up on a mountain down there, it's one heck of a view down in the valley. More drywall. I told you, it never ends. We got some retaining wall help from this chicken and her chicks. Actually, they weren't help. We tried to run them off and sort of pour the foundation for the retaining wall, and they just wouldn't go away. Well, what it was is, if you can go back a few slides, there was a house right above it, and there was a family who lived there, a grandmother, and feel free to ask questions. There was a grandmother who lived there, and if I remember correctly, there was a mother of 3 or 4 kids. Her husband left, and obviously there's no way to make it. And so they were building this house for her. And it's not just to give houses away. It's you put your back into it. You help pay for it. You're responsible for the upkeep. think 12 people in a house, about the size of probably from here to the other side right there, probably from here to here, 12 people. Take a guess what's growing in the field there. Take a guess. Marijuana? You got another guess? I never would have guessed it's asparagus. These are asparagus fields. The biggest part of the economy in the villages surrounding Ensenada is produce and flowers and things like this. And so asparagus everywhere. This is VBS. Every afternoon we went to the VBS for the kids at Pastor Renario's church. Pastor Renario's church is another church that's even further out. It's even more remote than where we were with Pastor Halil's church. And I thought that was pretty cool. That is the view across from Pastor Renario's church. This is one of the kids playing with a dog. The church has their own dog on a chain. I thought that was pretty cool to welcome everybody. The dog would eat all their clothes. Inside the kids, you can't see it, but there's a stack of stages, little platforms over here. And right there, they were jumping way off and they're trying to touch a light up here in the ceiling. And they thought that was the greatest thing in the world. The video games, but they made it their own fun. Just some cute little girls. This is some of the members of the church who were performing a skit of the Good Samaritan. And this is afterwards, I'm on this side, and that's Katie, and that's little Ronnie Gonzala. And we were making our scripture books. That's me and Marcus, and I can't remember his name. I took my book, Spanish Phrases for Dummies. Turns out it does a really great job of getting you through airports, but it does nothing to get you through VBS. I was struggling to help these kids draw something, and finally I started picking up some words. He was trying to. I said, "Well, what?" He said, he's trying to figure out what to put on his book cover. I said, "Ocean, water, agua." He didn't get it. Finally, I figured ocean. And then I started learning the word for duck, and so we had a great time. I threw away my Spanish phrases for dummies for those reasons. This is afterwards. They were having the race on the hat. And I'll show you another picture of this, but this right here, there are literally just rows and rows and rows. I mean, hundreds of acres of these things. And what it is they're kind of the Mexican version of hothouses. And there are people who work in there from roughly 6 in the morning to 7 at night, 6 to 7 days a week. I've often heard people say that Mexican people are lazy. And that's not the truth. I've heard people say they're poor because they haven't worked hard enough. These people work incredibly hard. They work about 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week, all year, and they make about 60 to 70 pesos, 600 to 700 pesos a week. I'm trying to remember which way it goes. It roughly equivalents to about $400 a month, working 12 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. About $400. And there are no other opportunities there. It's not like they can't get a better job or they're getting lazy. There are no other jobs. It's an agricultural place. And guess what? If it doesn't rain, no work. You might say, well, go get some education then. Most of them are pulled out of school after they're 12 because guess what? They can go to work and support the family. And not only that, but the government does not have programs for you to get education. Here in America, what you can get? You can get loans. In Mexico and most of these third world countries, there are really no government assistance programs. So they're stuck in this lifestyle, in this cycle, and they can't get out of it. It's a problem. It's a huge economic scale, but we're trying to make a dent in it one by one. This is riding home from the remote village from VBS. This is the part I may have a tough time with. In Mexico, riding in cars and driving is not like America. I mean, in America, you have very strict rules about how many people can ride in a car and how many people are approved to ride in a car. In Mexico, no such thing. You take the work van, you take the back seats out, 20 to 25 kids in there. And I know that's another joke. How many Mexican people can you fit in a car? I learned to not appreciate that joke. Because most of these kids do not have parents at home, because remember, they're working 70 hours or more a week. So the only way they can get to VBS and get home is for us to just pile them in the van. We were riding in the van, and this little girl right here, she's riding in the van, and we were all, the roads are, you think your country roads here are bad? They're incredibly bumpy there. And we made it to a fun game where we pushed one another around and see who could jump the highest when we hit a bump. And she accidentally fell and busted her lip on the seat right there. And she cried and cried and cried. And I was so frustrated. Number one, because I knew that this kid had nothing. Number two, because I knew that she had no parents at home. Number three, because I had no words to tell her it's okay. I thought of every Spanish word I knew. I tried again and again in English, just to let her know it's okay, you can quit crying. And I couldn't do it. Eventually I told her, I said, I did this thing. And she wiped away the tears and things got better. But that will always stand out in my memory. That it reminded me that no matter how hard I try, I can't fix all the hurts in the world, but maybe I can do it one kid at a time. So there they are, they're all getting off the van. I just saw a very cool thing. It almost looks like something right out of Wyoming, doesn't it, or Montana. Just a farmer or a local gentleman. That's their transportation, riding his horse through the valley. Beautiful flowers everywhere. Beauty and chaos. I don't know how I got this view. I don't remember where it was, but it's a beautiful view. This is upscale housing in the village. That's as if you got it good. Brian Clemmer, one of the permanent missionaries, hanging off the roof, trying to fix things. Once again, Pastor Halu and me, you can see my pants are dirty. Proof I worked. We were in Sammy laying the foundation for the wall. After that, I begged Sammy, I said, we were riding his truck. I said, this is a nice truck, Sammy. It wasn't. It was old and beat up. I said, man, I'd love to drive in Mexico. Oh, he said, you can drive, no problem. It's okay, it's good. You can't hurt the truck. You can drive. And so we were getting back to the center where I was going to drive we were going to go off on our own. Me and Sammy do our own thing. We were going to do a pastoral visit with a family. And I got to drive. It was a blast. When we got to the house, the first thing I noticed was the bathroom. I was trying to be very polite and not take pictures of their house indoors or anything. So there's not much of a picture, but this is outside of their house. Tell you about this real quick. I went inside, and here's one of the poverty hurts me in Mexico and Haiti and these places. But what hurts me more than anything is the abandonment of kids and the lack of